Hiya and welcome to today's video in which I will be defending some recent Wizarding World additions. First of all, I understand that to the average person they're probably bad products and projects, and I don't completely disagree with that. I think that they're not to the highest quality possible with the budget they have. But there are a lot of positives to each of them, and they're varying most of the time between each project. Apart from the fact that they all provide so many jobs, and I'll be going through what types of jobs each one provides. And there's so many more than what I'm listing. What I'm listing is just the most obvious things that occur to me. Originally, this video was just going to be defending Hogwarts Mystery because I found myself really enjoying it recently, despite many people having had stopped playing within the first month. I've now been playing for like 9 months. I've been playing every day since it came out on April 25th of last year. First of all, it gives you actual lessons from the Wizarding World. We find out about the Goblin Rebellions of many a time, and you find out a little bit more about them, and that's a little nice bit of knowledge from the Wizarding World. Similarly, they also help you visualise things, which you couldn't have visualised before, or if you did, now there are official versions. For example, Porlocks, I read about a few times and never really imagined anything concrete, but now with Hogwarts Mystery, their version of a Porlock is what I imagine whenever I read about a Porlock from now on. In a way, it's similar to the old Pottermore with the House Cup competition element, and the potions lessons are very, very similar to what happened on Old Pottermore, and that's what I remember most from Old Pottermore. So it's really nice to have the Old Pottermore back again in that way, because, well, the new one is information based, and that's also great. I do really miss what it used to be. Hogwarts Mystery explores more Wizarding World culture. For example, when you play Exploding Snap in history class, Tonks suggests to play by the Bavarian rules, which may be a slight nod to the fact that Exploding Snap was translated to Snape Explodes in Germany, but it could just also be an element of Wizarding culture that hasn't been explored yet, and we get to see more of the Wizarding World culture from around the world. And finally, the jobs. It allows people who are passionate programmers and illustrators to work on something that they also really like if they're Harry Potter fans. And I find that amazing that you can just about do any profession but add a Harry Potter twist to it with how many projects are coming out. Cursed Child. Well, while I agree that it is a very, very bad story that doesn't stick to the established Harry Potter canon, it is a stunning play, and it's really, really beautiful and well executed, and if you ever have the money and time to see it, I would really recommend it. And because the people who've just read the script hate it and the people who've seen the play as well tend to love it, it creates really passionate discussions about whether a thing can still be enjoyed and called good even if it isn't good compared to what it's based on. Also, all of these things kind of create subgenres of Harry Potter fans, where Cursed Child fans just really love it and the original Harry Potter fans really hate it. But it just allows for more people to get into Harry Potter, because if somebody loves theatre and went to see Cursed Child because it's a big play, and then they also end up really liking Harry Potter, that's great because they've discovered something that is loved worldwide and like really discovered it themselves in a way that they love it, and that then it means so much more to them. Cursed Child has won so many awards, and that just proves how good of a piece of theatre it is. And despite the bad story, it's won 9 Olivier Awards in 1 year, which I think is the record still to this day. And Cursed Child is going worldwide bit by bit, allowing the Wizarding World to spread over the Muggle world as well, because it's already in London and New York, then it's going to Melbourne and San Francisco, and then eventually to Hamburg in the spring of 2020. That's the first non-English speaking production, and Harry Potter und der Verwunschene Kind I'm sure will be great, and I'd really love to see it because I love learning German. It's a very fun language with so many grammar rules, but seeing Harry Potter in German is an entirely different experience, and even for Germans I'm sure they'll feel more connected to it when it's in German than when it's in English. And that allows for more people to love Harry Potter more in their own way and really have it mean something to them. Crimes of Grindelwald. This one is actually official because while J.K. Rowling supports Hogwarts key games, and while she accepted Cursed Child into the world of Harry Potter, Crimes of Grindelwald was written by J.K. Rowling and kind of overlooked by her in the whole production process. I can see how to the average moviegoer this is a bad movie, because it's movie 2 and it's just building up to what the 5-part series will really be about. So it starts with Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which kind of introduces us to the main characters and the main dilemmas. But then Crimes of Grindelwald is there to introduce us to the rest of the characters and the rest of the dilemmas and the rest of their, like, how they think. So it's a lot of exposition. But I think over the course of the 5-part series, it will really mean a lot. For example, the Phoenix book that Nicholas Flamel has when he talks to Eulalie Hicks, I think that's probably some sort of international wizard group, maybe like an early version of the Order of the Phoenix or something, because there are wizards from all over the world. I think I read some other names that aren't in English, and Eulalie Hicks is a teacher at Ivormorny, which is in America, and Nicholas Flamel was in France at the time that he had the book in Crimes of Grindelwald, but he usually lives in south of England. So it will really all make sense later, hopefully. And again, it produces so many jobs. Editors, lighting people, sound mixers, so many people are involved in making a movie, and it provides so many jobs, and it's a 2-year cycle, so people have jobs just about for like a 10-year span producing this 5-year movie series, and I just think that's absolutely brilliant. I think Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse had 12,000 people working on it that had jobs there, so Crimes of Grindelwald must have had that many or even more. And finally, Pottermore, which has been getting really hated recently, even though it's been the way it is for about 3 years. Pottermore used to be kind of like an interactive Hogwarts experience, and then in 2014-15 it was down for about a year, and then it became this information-based thing with quizzes sprinkled in. So the Pottermore Presents books, which are very similar to the Pottermore articles, I've actually read more times than the Harry Potter series because I find it so interesting, and every time I reread them I find out something new that I've just never really completely registered. Whereas with the Harry Potter series, there's so many videos and articles on it, and I've read and seen them so many times that I kind of know it inside out, and there's nothing really new for me to find out. But with the Pottermore Presents books, there is. The quizzes on Pottermore are very, very fun and very, very hard, and it's just about impossible to get 100% unless you're constantly reading to or listening to the Harry Potter series. And the toilet thing, which was old news for me, and when I read it I was kind of like, that's weird but okay, has become kind of a meme on Twitter because Pottermore tweeted it kind of recently, and people who are kind of Harry Potter fans just found out about it now. And it's really interesting that a piece of information that's 2 or 3 years old has just randomly been really, really popularised, and everyone's like, that's really weird, please stop, no, we don't need any more information from you, Pottermore, thank you. And finally, the jobs which Pottermore provides, there are journalism, quiz making, collecting information, putting it into one place, graphic designers for the infographics, and programmers for the actual website itself. There are so many jobs that Pottermore provides to people who are Harry Potter fans, and I just find amazing that people can work their job and also love Harry Potter and combine those two things. And in no way am I saying that all of these things are perfect. I just think that they deserve more praise than they get hate, or maybe equal amounts, or maybe slightly less praise, but not just all hate. Because people work on these for really long periods of time, and that doesn't always mean something is good, but these are usually really meticulously crafted, and even J.K. Rowling herself makes mistakes, or maybe is Tom Riddle lying? Here is the extract from Chamber of Secrets, page 230 of this original edition. Hagrid in trouble every other week, trying to raise werewolf cubs under his bed, from Tom Riddle. That's children, so it might be a lie from Tom Riddle, or it might be J.K. Rowling's mistake. And if it is J.K. Rowling's mistake, then I don't think it's popularised as much, because the internet wasn't as popular in 1998 when Chamber of Secrets was published, and it's kind of old news now if somebody were to spread that. But it's just, people can always make mistakes, and there are always going to be continuity errors, I guess. But these things are also really good, and there are positives in all of them. And they're not perfect, but it's very difficult to make a perfect thing. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. I really do hope that you enjoyed it. I will see you in the next one. Bye! and even J.K. Rowling herself makes